hospitals will not ask for money upfront. Now let's understand co-insurance. ठीक है, deductible. If deductible is too high, you know what was the biggest culture shock when I moved to America? It was definitely not food, not work, not people. It was the healthcare system. And it makes sense, right? In India, maybe a decade ago, health insurance was not that much popular, right? So a visit to the hospital is like आपके घर के आसपास जो भी hospital है, you went there, you pay the money and you get the treatment over there. But in US, I think the system is a bit different. So when I moved here and we got the health insurance from our employer, I thought it means that most of my medical bills will be covered. But ऐसा है नहीं, यहाँ पे things are a bit complicated. Suddenly you hear terms like co-pay, deductible, co-insurance, in-network, out-network, and so on. So today in this video, planning to discuss the US healthcare system and try to simplify it. And I wish that someone would have explained it me when I moved here. So if you are new to America or you're planning to move here, this video is for you. First understand what health insurance actually is. So for example, I needed a surgery which cost around $50,000. So no way I can pay that amount now, right? And I guess very few people can do that. And that's where this health insurance helps a lot. So health insurance is not like that it's going to pay you the entire amount from the day one, right? Instead, it's like you and the insurance provider are going to share the cost, and it depends on so many factors. So insurance is not going to pay the entire amount from the day one. It depends on the rules of your plan. We're going to discuss all these things in the next part. So in India, you go to the doctor, you pay the bill, done and dusted. But in USA, actually, there are three parties involved. First is you. The second is the healthcare provider, that means the hospital that you're going, and third is your insurance provider. So whenever you get any treatment, the conversation is going to happen between three parties, and that's why you don't get the bill upfront. Many people get the bill after months and months of their treatment, right? So what happens is that you go to the hospital and then the hospital sends your bill to the insurance provider, and then based on your plan the insurance provider will decide ki how much you will pay and how much insurance will pay, and this amount is going to differ a lot based on so many factors that I'm going to discuss just now. Okay, so let's start with the most easiest word, that is premium. Like you have a Netflix subscription. Even if you watch a movie or not, you have to pay the subscription, you have to pay the premium, right? Premium is the amount that you pay every month for owning a health insurance plan. Next comes the deductible. So deductible is the word which has haunted me for a long, because मुझे इसको समझने में काफी time लग गया. So in short term, deductible is actually the amount that you have to pay first from your own pocket before insurance starts kicking in and sharing your costs. And there are some exceptions to it. For example, जो आपके annual health checkups होते हैं, vaccines होते हैं, those are fully covered by insurance even if you have not met your deductible. ठीक है, तो एक एग्जाम्पल से समझते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू हैव अ डिडक्टिबल ऑफ $2,000, ठीक है, और आपको एक इमीडिएटली एक सर्जरी की जरूरत पड़ी विच इज कॉस्टिंग अराउंड $10,000. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन इज दैट you have to pay $2,000 from your own pocket first, and then insurance will start sharing the cost based on your plan type, based on your service, based on the surgery type, and so many things. Next word is copay. Copay is bit simple. So copay is like a fixed amount that you have to pay. Doesn't matter whether you have met your deductible or not. So even if you have met your deductible, copay is something that you have to pay. So for example, आप अपने प्राइमरी केयर डॉक्टर के पास गए तो उनका चार्ज एक फिक्स चार्ज होगा $30. मे बी कोई स्पेशलिस्ट के पास जा रहे हो आप तो उसका चार्ज होगा $50. Now here is the thing, right? So that doctor might charge $100 to a different patient because he doesn't have that health insurance, or maybe he has a different kind of health insurance. So copay differs differs a lot depending on the type of health insurance you have, but it is the fixed amount that you have to pay irrespective of everything. Now let's understand co-insurance. Okay, insurance is something like after you have met your deductible, insurance might pay 80% and the patient will pay 20%. So for example, after meeting your deductible, you got a treatment which costed around $1,000. So insurance will pay around $800 and you have to pay only $200. So it depends a lot on the type of plan. So you must read all the instructions, all the details very carefully. Let's understand claims a bit. For example, how your insurance provider is going to know that कि आपने कोई treatment लिया भी है, that you have visited a doctor. So what happens is that when you go to a hospital, the doctor will send the detailed cost to the insurance provider कि hey, we have visited this, and this is the service that they took. So how much you're going to pay, right? So insurance is going to review your plan, and depending on certain scenarios, they're going to say, okay, we are going to pay 100% or we're going to pay 80%. So in case insurance is only going to pay 80%, then you will receive a bill from the healthcare provider. This is the biggest difference, that in India you have to pay upfront for your services, but in USA it's not like that. I think first priority is given to the patient and making sure that patient is well treated, and after that you will pay the bill. Anyhow, you have to pay the bill, but it's like the timing. Let's talk about out of pocket maximum. So think of it as an yearly safety limit. सो आपका डिडक्टिबल मेट हो गया, उसके बाद कोई इंश्योरेंस किक इन करता है, सो you still pay some share of the bill, and even after that, let's say you reached a threshold of, for example, $8,000. Let's say that was your out of pocket cost. So after that, in most of the cases, you won't have to pay anything. So for example, उसके बाद मेरी कोई ऐसी सर्जरी आ जाती है जो $50,000 की है, and my out of pocket maximum is $8,000. So most likely insurance is going to cover full cost of that service. Depends on factors like, first of all, that service or that treatment must be included in the plan. Second is that it should be the in-network hospital. So sometimes in the plan, there are certain services which are excluded. So you have to make sure that you're not getting those kind of treatments which are excluded from the plan, because then you might get the bill even if you have reached the out-of-pocket maximum. I hope this clears. Okay, let's talk about the biggest mistakes that new immigrants make when they are buying the health insurance plans. Firstly, many people just select an insurance plans because the premium is low, and that's not a good idea because they're ignoring very, very important factors like its deductible. Oh, this is so important. Hi, want to talk? You want to talk? So I think Arjun भी पीछे आ चुका है सुनने के लिए कि how insurance works. Okay, so I was talking about the biggest mistakes that an immigrant makes when they buy a health insurance plans. ठीक है, सबसे पहले बोलूँगी कि people often go for insurance where the premiums are very low. So short term के लिए it might be beneficial, but see, they are ignoring very important factors, that is deductible. Even if we ignore the out of pocket, that's fine, but deductible, if deductible is too high, you will never ever be able to meet the deductible and insurance will not start kicking in. So it's not a very good choice, right? Second is they are not aware whether the hospitals or clinics around you are your in-network providers or not. So insurance will not play any role if you are visiting a hospital or a location which is not in network. So whenever you are selecting an insurance plan, looks whether the hospitals around you within 10 miles, within 20 miles accepts your insurance or not. Okay, let me think about the third one. I have noted it down somewhere. If you have some life-changing scenario seeking up, for example, if you're going to have a baby and maybe you're about to get married. So So keep those things in mind, and according to that, change your. According to that, select your plans, because you cannot switch to different plans every now and then. There is a very specific enrollment period, or that occurs every year, that you can use for change, that you can use for selecting your health insurance. एंड और एक दूसरा होता है कि आपका कुछ लाइफ चेंजिंग इवेंट हुआ हो, लाइक जॉब लॉस, डिवोर्स, मैरिज, बेबी एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स. इन दोज केसेस देन you can change your insurance. So be aware of those things as well. Mama will be back in just 5 minutes, okay? Okay. Whatever I explained till now might feel very overwhelming. Trust me, when I came here, I also struggled a lot to understand these things. But I realized one thing, that the crux of the healthcare system in USA is that hospitals will not ask for money upfront. I think they value human life more than the money, at least at that point of time. So, for example, even if you go to emergency, they will not ask you to pay certain amount and then only the doctor will, be treating you. That's not the case of the healthcare system in USA, and that's what I liked most about here. You don't have to get worried. Imagine when you're already in pain, when your family is already in so much stress, if the providers are telling you to pay such a hefty amount before, imagine the stress that goes on, that stays with that family. And that's why I like this healthcare system in US a lot. I know sometimes there are unpredictable costs and all those things, but if you understand how the system works here, trust me, things will get easier. You will have some understanding in predicting the cost here and there. Let me know if you have any more questions. I know that in maybe 8 to 10 minutes of video I cannot explain everything in detail. So if you have any questions, please comment down and I will try to yes baby, I will try to answer them in very detail. I will try to meet you all very soon, most probably next week. Tab tak ke liye subscribe channel and take care and bye bye and namaste.